did wild poodles roam the earth? By David Feldman. The Imponderables. Hi, and welcome to Reading with Polly. What in the heck is a tumbleweed? Why does it tumble? And how can it reproduce if it doesn't stay in one place? 3 imponderables for the price of 1. The first part is easy. The most common form of tumbleweed, the one you see raking havoc in movie westerns, is the Russian thistle. But actually, the term is applied to any plant that rolls with the wind, drops its seed as it tumbles, and possesses panicles, branched flower clusters that break off. Usually, the stems of tumbleweed dry up and snap away from their roots in late fall, when the seeds are ripe and the leaves dying. Although tumbleweeds cannot walk or fly on their own, they are configured to move with the wind. The above-ground portion of the thistle is shaped like a flattened globe, so it can roll more easily than other plants. In his March 1991 Scientific American article, Tumbleweed, James Young points out how tumbleweed has adapted to the arid conditions of the Great Plains. One Russian thistle plant can contain 250,000 seeds. Even these impressive amounts of seeds will not reproduce efficiently if dumped all at once. But the flowers which bloom in the summer are wedged in the axil between the leaves and the stem, so that their seeds don't fall out as soon as they are subjected to their first tumbles. In effect, the seeds are dispersed sparingly by the natural equivalent of time-release capsules, assuring wide dissemination. Young points out that tumbleweed actually thrives on solitude. If tumbleweed bumps into another plant or thick, tall grass, it becomes lodged there, and birds and small animals find and eat the seeds. Hence, successful germination, establishment of seedlings, and flowering depend on dispersal to sites where competition is minimal. Russian thistle would rather tumble than fight. Although songs have romanticized the tumbleweed, do not forget that the last word in tumbleweed is weed. In fact, if the Russian thistle had been discovered in our country in the 1950s rather than in the 1870s, it probably would have been branded a communist plot. Thistle was a major problem for the cowboys and farmers who first encountered it. Although tumbleweed looks bushy, its leaves are spiny and extremely sharp. Horses were often lacerated by running into tumbleweed in fields and pastures, and the leaves punctured the gloves and pants worn by cowboys. Tumbleweed has also been a ban to farmers, which explains how tumbleweed spread so fast from the Dakotas down to the Southwest. The seeds of tumbleweed are about the same size as most cereal grains. Farmers had no easy way to separate the thistle seeds from their grains. As grain moved through the marketplace, thistle was transported to new tumbling ground. Today, tumbleweed's favorite victims are automobiles and the passengers in them. We get into accidents trying to avoid it, trying to outrace it, and from some stupid driving mistakes and simply trying to watch tumbleweed tumble. Next week on Reading with Polly, has anyone ever seen a live Cornish game hen? Thanks for listening to Reading with Polly. Bye-bye.
I knew he was going to be an ass like that.